4, 3, 2, 1. Wellness Week Live. What's up, everybody? I am your host, DJ Anthony. That is my co-host, Magnus, our resident PhD. And today, or this month, November, is Diabetes Awareness Month. Okay, so we're going to be speaking about that. Now, real quick, we're two friends that are just talking. Please always check with your healthcare professional. We are not giving any medical advice, but I just wanted to talk about this month is Diabetes Awareness Month. And we all know someone who is struggling or has passed away from diabetes. And so what is diabetes? How do you get it? How do you keep it away? How do you treat it? Who, what, when, where, why? Okay, so for people who don't know, and Magnus, jump in whenever you like, because you're in the medical profession, you have the training. I don't. I'm a DJ. It says it right there. But so diabetes really breaks into two major categories: type 1, which you're born with, genetic, you have no choice in the matter, and type 2, you do have a choice in the matter. You gave it to yourself. No one deserves it, but they're two very similar diseases in the sense of your body cannot manage the sugar or the processing from food that turns into sugar. Your pancreas, which makes a hormone called insulin, that insulin regulates how much sugar, when, where, how, what, and how, and where, and how much gets released into the body. But if you have a disease of that pancreas that can't give you enough insulin or regulate the insulin, then you have what they call diabetes. Now, again, type 1, you're born with, but both are treated very similarly. Both are the same in the sense of how they can damage a person. But again, type 1 is genetic. You're born with it. And my understanding is from the people that I know have type 1, Magnus, and viewers watching, type 1, typically you're going to have injectables. You're going to have some type of a port on your body that can administer insulin and watch and manage insulin. Type 2, generally speaking, you're not going to typically have these injectables and ports in your body. Usually you'll be on some kind of pill medication, typically, although you could be on insulin. But type 2 is more of a progression. And again, type 2 you give yourself. And that's the one that really kind of pisses me off and makes me sad, because I have people in my family, I have people that I know, I'm sure we all do, and we love them. And it's just like, why are you giving yourself this? Like, this doesn't have to happen. And people might think like, and I have people in my circle, I'll leave it at that. They act like type 2 diabetes is, hey, not a big deal, take the pill. Now I can go back to eating bread pasta, pizza, bagels, beer, alcohol, wine. I take the pill. It's like, what, you stupid son of a bitch. Like, you are killing yourself. Like, don't you? It's like watching somebody willfully ramming their car into a wall. Yeah.
Like slow, painful. Like it's basically suicide by what's it called? 10,000 cuts.
Yeah. I mean, it's so sad, because it's like, what are you doing? And then you'll see them like, oh yeah, I got to measure my blood. And you just had, cake and soda and pizza and bread. It's like, what are you like?
So like just I want to add something. It's a type 2 diabetes. So basically you are eating so much sugar or quick digestive carbohydrates that your insulin levels, I mean your body's constantly producing super high insulin levels, right? So after a while, the concentration in your blood is so high, so your receptors in different cells, they kind of like, they give up, because like, it's overflowed, and that's where the big problem. You can't control the insulin, and you can't really affect it or create the effect of actually absorbing the sugar in your blood and things like that.
Yeah.
So it's and so here's the thing though, like, it's basically a lifestyle disease. Yeah. And the beauty of it too
is type 2 is, yes.
Yeah, exactly. The beauty of this too is that if you change your lifestyle to reduce insulin, you can basically defeat this disease and it disappears.
Yeah. No, but and I want to add, I'm not trying to throw shade or shit at someone who is type 2. Again, no one deserves these things, okay? But let's be honest, it's like, you're not helping yourself when you're drinking beer, wine, cake, cookies, sitting. So there's, and I want to say, if you have type 1, just because it's genetic doesn't give you a pass where you can live on shit food and sit all day and drink alcohol either. You got to be very cognizant, and you have to be on top of it. And again, a lot of people are, but a lot of people are not. And it's like, but the type 2 really breaks my heart because my grandmother had it and she died sooner than she should have because of this. And I had other cousins that had passed away from this stuff, stuff too. And it's just like, damn, like this didn't have to. And by the way, forget it. I'm not preaching. I'm saying to myself, Anthony, me, what can I do to not get this? Because any of us can get this, and the American diet in America, we're not living in Crete, Greece, or Japan where type 2 diabetes is almost non-existent because they have a healthy lifestyle. So what can we do? Let's talk about that. How can you prevent type 2 diabetes and manage better type 1? And that is exercise every day. I would say a minimum, get up off your ass, get vertical. And if you have to just walk an hour a day. Yeah. And it's not more, but run, whatever.
At least an hour, walking at least an hour, like be up and move at least an hour a day.
100%. And the other thing is fiber. I can't say it enough. Fiber. Vegetables, fruits, nuts, legumes, meat, fish, lean meat, chicken, even steak. Stay the fuck away from pasta. Pasta is junk food. It is. I don't care.
Sugar is the main thing, and that's the problem. So start cutting down sugar. I'm not saying that that you have to remove sugar completely unless you're super unhealthy, but cut it down. You should not eat a lot of sugar every single day.
Right. And sugar, but see, Magnus, some people think, I don't eat candy every day. They don't get it. No. Pasta, bread, that is sugar.
Look at the ingredient list. Look at an ingredient list and you will see there's sugar or some type of sugar. It doesn't have to say sugar. It comes in many different ways.
And by the way, beer, liquor, alcohol, that is the worst. That is the fucking worst. That is, you are killing yourself. Even if you don't have diabetes, stay away from that shit. But if you have pre-diabetes or you got early onset diabetes, you are literally, it is rat poison. Beer, wine. I don't want to hear about wine good for the heart. Wine's not. There's alcohol in it. Stop. So, you just stay the fuck away from that shit. And again, to your point, if you don't have diabetes, or even if you do, no one's saying that you can't have a piece of cake at a wedding or a birthday. But honestly, if you're drinking soda, sweet drinks, and liquor, and you're having cake and bread and pasta and bagels and pizza and, sweet stuff all throughout the week, no, just a no. Do you want, and people might say, well, how's that living? Well, how's that living with diabetes? That's good. So
again, what could happen with diabetes if you look at it there's the list of bodily issues.
Let's talk about that.
That's related to diabetes.
Right.
It's basically like reading into a telephone book for the people that remember that.
Well, Magnus, it's funny. So I have people that I know that have type 2 diabetes. They gave it to themselves, right? And they don't get it. They think that the diabetes is just diabetes and nothing else. Like diabetes, they don't get it. Diabetes is linked to certain cancers. Diabetes is linked to heart disease. Diabetes is linked to
amputation. You might have to. Your foot, your leg, your fingers, your hands.
Right.
Things like that.
Diabetes. It's linked to bad skin, bad hair, bad eyesight, anything.
What do you mean with bad hair?
Hey, no, but diabetes is linked to getting sick more often. Yeah. All the ills you can think of, diabetes can give you. Now, I'm not saying that obviously you can get a disease or a problem and it's not diabetes related, but diabetes does not help anything.
It makes everything way worse.
COVID. Look who died. I understand there was a story about an Olympic athlete who got COVID and he died. Anyways, 99.99999% of the people who died from COVID were, one of the comorbidities was, wait for it, diabetes 2. Overweight. We're not even talking about obesity, just overweight. And diabetes, by the way, overweight, diabetes is linked to that. So diabetes is such a prolific, insidious disease. And again, it's sad because especially type 2, you don't need to have, you don't have to live like this. You can have a healthy, happy, stronger life. Diabetes 2 is no. And if you have diabetes 1, you're probably a little bit more on top of stuff, but it's such a mother effer.
You and I are about the same age. do you remember how many kids in your school had diabetes, like type 2 diabetes growing
Type
up?
2, 0.
Yeah.
Now,
And,
every kid, it's almost every other kid's got type 2 diabetes, or they're obese, or they're overweight, and you know
or
what?
pre-diabetic.
Right. And listen, it's not about shaming. It's about science. It's about math. It's about binary ones and zeros. Science doesn't care who you are, what you do, don't do, identify as. It's diabetes is not good. It's not cute. It's not embracing. It's not funny. It kills, and it ruins the life that you do have. It makes you more sick. It makes you weaker. Do you want that? So how is living? I mean, I would rather be stronger, healthier, happier, and I can do without the pasta and the bread and the cake 6 days a week. Okay. Like, you got to look at it that way.
It feels like type 2 diabetes has become so common
it's
that
acceptable.
It's basically, I got 2 diabetes, and it's like I will get type 2 diabetes sooner or later.
It's a fait accompli. It's assumed. Of course, I'm going to get type 2 diabetes.
Yeah,
but they see it as only that disease. They don't see it as now because you have type 2 diabetes, you're going to get a whole bunch of other diseases now because of that. That's what they don't see.
Yeah, no, exactly. And like we talked about this earlier on, like off air, is that the type 2 diabetes, how many, like we're talking about like briefly here too, it's connected with so many other diseases and issues. And I mean, I would not, like, if I could throw a hex or a curse or someone, type 2 diabetes would be an excellent curse.
It's the foundation for all the ills. And again, I get it. You can get diseases that don't have anything to do with type 2 diabetes, but type 2 diabetes makes every single disease worse, and it makes you susceptible to so many other diseases like cancer. Yeah. There's a link between diabetes and cancers. There's a link.
That's why it's important. Like we're talking about it is Diabetes Awareness Month, like month of November, and we need to start, like, people need to take this more seriously and educate themselves, and actually, like, okay, I need to beat this, and I need to, like, see that the next generation is not, like, already doomed before they even start living, when they're so young, it's not fair towards your kids, if you're a parent, like you need to be on top of that, and it's not cute that you're like, oh, let's go celebrate and have like some candy or things like that constantly. You're not being nice towards your kids in the long run. You're actually giving them partially like a disease, but you're also giving them bad habits when it comes to relationship with sugar.
Right. And I'm not saying don't go like for once a month.
You don't have to go completely like
right. Your kid got
completely. No, we're not saying that.
Your kid got a good report card. Take him to the donut shop. I get that, but my opinion, the donuts should not be in your house. Cookies should not be in your house. White bread should not be in your house. Like the liquor, hell no.
Even stuff like you can say whatever you want, but like juice, orange juice, things like that. Most of the orange juices are horrendous too.
The worst. Absolutely worse. And Magnus, I think we both agree. No one's saying never drink orange juice, but don't have it in your house.
Yeah, and it's better like eat an orange, or if you want to do like real juice, like juice it yourself and drink it straight away. That's when it's actually like it's more healthier than buying juice off the like in your supermarket.
But my thing though with juice, I would say this, we might part ways here, but the fiber has to be in it, the pulp has to be in it, because
of course,
but some people like juicing, but they take all the fiber out, so you're just drinking sugar. Although it might have the vitamins in it, but again, that's why I said earlier, the fiber. And by the way, there's some people that I know that try to be cute and they're like, well, everything turns into sugar. Yeah, no shit. Obviously.
What about the amounts and how easy is it to break down?
Correct.
So we can go into biochemistry here and start actually showing how what kind of cherry picking and actually how uneducated you are when you come with kind of that lame excuse.
Well, yeah, and somebody that I know very close to me says that. So, but my thing is this: that's why I want fiber, because the fiber slows that sugar absorption down. So, liquor would be the worst. Having alcohol is straight sugar right into the bloodstream. It's death. So is soda. But when you eat an apple, or you eat an orange, or you have broccoli, that's going to be sugar, but there's fiber in that food. So the blood sugar gets absorbed slower. Your body can manage it. Now, you know this, but I'm saying for people who don't know. So this is why fruits and vegetables are very important. Even certain fruits could be a problematic thing for a diabetic, but generally speaking, so anyways, it's Diabetes Awareness Month. I'm glad it is. We need to talk about it more, and we need to not be afraid of it. It doesn't have to be a death sentence, and so
definitely not. You can do so much. You can get so much healthier by starting to make some changes in your lifestyle.
Yeah, and healthier means stronger.
Can I add something to
Yes,
this
sir.
conversation too? So we talked about this briefly too beforehand. Alzheimer's is basically starting to be seen as type 3 diabetes, because a lot of Alzheimer's diseases is connected to insulin levels too. So that's another disease that gets involved in this, like if you're looking at diabetes as a group, which is a horrendous disease too. So people think about it, choose your heart. We're not saying that you have to cut out everything, but be a little bit smarter. Take care of yourself.
Yeah,
100%. Look at the long run too.
Yeah, and no one's saying that. Again, people think, well, if I cut out the cake and the pasta and the bread and the bagels, what kind of life is that? Again, what kind of life is being sick? What kind of life is having type 2 diabetes? What kind of life is taking these pills that have side effects? Wouldn't you like to be stronger, healthier, happier? Better skin, better muscle, better nails, better mind, better eyesight. Well, that you can have all of that very easily. Eat right, and then you won't have to have type 2 diabetes. Stay away from the bread and the pasta and the soda and the sweet drinks and the alcohol and the, God forbid, cigarettes. But anyway, so that's all I got to say. I'm trying my best. I think
we should end on that. That's a good. That's you basically.
That's
Again,
it.
Just mic drop, right?
That's it, man. I'm done right now. All right, man. Thanks, everybody. Check back in. I got a bunch of great shows. Like, subscribe, share the show with friends and family. Thank you, everybody. Love you all.
Bye, guys.